Today on the channel, I'm going to show you how to play the song Fallen Angel by Poison. Yeah, man, Poison. CC Deville, some of the best bleach blonde hair in the hair metal years from the 80s, man, and some really cool guitar parts. All right, today we're going to learn how to play the song Fallen Angel by Poison. I'm going to show you how to play the intro, the chorus, the verses, the bridge part, the guitar solo, the little fills, all that good stuff. We're going to get our CC Deville on, and I'm kind of punking everybody wearing my Guns N' Roses shirt. Back in the 80s, if you listened to Guns N' Roses, you could not listen to Poison, and Poison was kind of like looked down upon a lot. You know, the girls loved Poison, and I loved Poison. I always liked both. I actually kind of liked Poison better than GNR, to be honest with you. Although I loved both bands, I've always been a fan of fun metal, melodic metal, and I thought, you know, Poison served up a healthy dose of that, albeit kind of cheesy at times. And you know, Poison's out there doing it to this day. Playing some great shows, and CC looks great. He's playing awesome. So let's get our CC Deville on today. All right, this song is in G. I am tuned to standard. If you're going to play to the record is tuned to E flat. So it'd be G flat, but I'm not going to tune to E flat today. Everyone likes it when I play in standard. So having that, I've got this Floyd Rose locked down on my EVH guitar in standard. That's what we're going to stick with today for a couple reasons. But the song primarily is focused, the verse and the chorus is focused around a G, a C, add 2, and a D sus4. All right, so a lot of great rock songs are just the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. And this song goes to the 6 minor in the bridge part and the pre-chorus, which is an E minor. Or I'm going to show you a couple different ways to play this. If you play in a 3-piece, much like CC, you got to cover a lot of ground. There's a lot of overdubs on this record, and I think he plays it in a couple different positions, but live, you have to choose what works best for you, okay? So I covered this lesson, or this song, slightly on in a partial video a couple years ago on my channel. I showed some Poison intros, but I'm going to show you the way CC plays it, and I'm going to show you the way that I would recommend you also play it live. So let's take a look at this intro. The intro goes like this. Okay, so what I'm doing there is I'm just playing this G. I call it a G5 because really we're not adding the B. We're not playing the major third, so it's all G's and D's. So I'm playing it with my middle finger up here on the G, and I'm playing with my ring finger and my pinky down here on the D and the G on the B and the E string, like this. And then there's a G major 7, which is this F sharp right here. It's like Lion Eyes. All right, so Fallen Angel is basically Lion Eyes sped up. So, just kidding. All right, so we've got the G like this. We're going to go between this G and this G major 7. But we're going to be chugging on the... So one thing you got to get down on this intro is we're going to palm mute on this G a couple times, and we're going to hit the chord. So we're going to do 2 chugs between each stroke on the chord. And that last one goes like that. And up to speed is. Okay, then we're going to go C. On the tablature, I put the whole chord here. But really, I'm just going to play it like I am the G. I'm going to put my middle finger on the C here, on the A string on the 3rd fret. Just like every rose has its thorn. All right, so we're going to go. Chug on that chord a couple times, then the D5. Then do the sus4. We're going to round out that D to the D major. So there's a little bit for you to remember there. We're going to actually go from the D5, resolve that sus4, and go back to this G. So slowly it sounds like this. I'm going to turn down the volume and the gain a little bit so you can hear it better. You could do that same riff on the C chord like I just did. So really, it's kind of fun, you know. This note here, the G to the F sharp. When you play it on the D, it's a D sus4 to a D, and it resolves right back to the G. That's actually a lot of music theory, and that's a trick in classical composing. That's the hook of the song. All right, so that's the intro riff, and it's also the chorus. All right, cool. Now another way I was going to show you how to play that. The reason I'm going to show you this way is because you got to play this intro solo. There's like a little intro solo when the drums and everything kick in. He goes. All right, I'm going to show you that in just a second. But what we can do, we can take this G. Now, my prior lesson I did maybe a year or two ago on Poison intros, I showed you up here because I've done covers in cover bands forever, man. And a lot of times I find myself getting away from the exact way the guitar player played the song because for economy reasons and for playing, you know, tons of like really shreddy metal, hair metal stuff, you got to take it easy sometimes and learn the easiest way to do it. So I've learned it this way. We can play this power chord G up on the 10th and 12th fret. All right, on the A, D, and G string. And if we take this G on the 12th fret and bring it down a half a step to the 11th, it's an F sharp. So you can go. You can go do that. So it's possible CC even doubled this on the record with chords up here, because that's kind of like, you know, that's a trick in metal. Kiss did it. I mean, not just metal, but rock in general. And you can keep your fingers on this shape, and you can put your index finger on the C. All right, and that makes that chord. Makes a add 2 chord, and you can put your index finger on the 10th fret and make it a D. So these fingers stay all in the same area, and you can go. Or Now the strings have a snappier sound the closer you get to the nut, because that's just the way guitars resonate and they sound. You know, that chord right there, that G sounds a lot brighter than... But when you got a lot of distortion on and you're doing overdubs, that works great. And then you go... You don't got to jump all the way up from the nut all the way up here to get that solo, which can be tricky, man. Even if you're a veteran player, I mean, you got to be dead on. And if you're CC, man, you're running around the stage and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and you got bombs exploding, and you know, girls taking their shirts off, and you're just distracted. So you know, you gotta figure it out, man. It's hair metal. So like it or not, that part is available for you up on this part of the fretboard also. Or if you're playing a 2-guitar band, double it up, man. Make it sound great. Make it sound full. All right, so let's take a look at that intro solo. That intro solo is in the E minor pentatonic shape, which is also the G major pentatonic shape. Up here on this 12th fret, you go. That's your E minor. Relative major is a G major, and this box shape up here is a great box shape to remember, and also going up to the second position, like these top notes. Knowing where your leading tones are, which is your 7th, that brings resolution. A lot of Poison stuff is definitively in a major key, and CC being classically trained, he's pretty influenced by a lot of his classical training. I can honestly say, you know, that had an impact on me too, going to music school. I find myself using a lot of leading tones and thirds and seconds and different things that I think sound good to my ear. So what I was saying was, this pentatonic shape, but knowing your leading tones. This leading tone being an F sharp is the major third of a D chord. It's an F sharp. So that leading tone leads us back to G. T-do. All right, so there's your basic theory for the day. You've probably had enough of this and probably clicked off the video by now. So for those of you that remained, thank you. All right, so the solo, the very beginning solo, is out of this box shape. We're going to go. Very cookie cutter, but very effective, okay? So what we're doing there is we're going to be on the 12th fret on the D string and go right up. So it's 12, 14, 12, 14 on D and G. But we're going to bend this 14 and release. And pull off to the 12th. And then bend the 15th fret up real quick, a full step. And release. Put some vibrato on it. So, and then the next lick goes same thing, but we're doing the 15th fret on the high E, and then go back to the B string on the 15th fret, then go right back up. Vibrato. All right, so one more time. Okay, there's that intro lick. All right, so during the verse, Brett is singing. Can't remember the lyrics off the top of my head, you know, but CC's banging out these big root chords. I'm going to roll back just a little bit on my volume to clean it up just a hair. I'm going to be just playing this open chord. Go to the C. And when we hit that D, we're going to go. It's very Boston-esque, too. If you ever listen to a lot of Boston, Tom Scholz was classically trained, and he used a lot of sus4s. and leading tone to bring this back, okay? Eddie used a lot of sus4 chords, but he used them differently. He didn't use them so much as a resolution, he just used them as colors. But anyway, so sorry, a lot of tune there. So, gonna hit this big G chord during the verse. Hit this open C, add to D. So it's important to have a lot of gain on your amp for this chorus part, but when you go into the verse, when you roll back, you get a little bit more presence and a little bit more grittiness out of that pickup. You get that clarity, but that warmth at the same time. Because you want to be able to hear this, that second note in that C chord. You want to be able to hear that sus4 and that major third. All right, now I'm going to turn the volume back up, full blast, and it goes into a bridge. So that bridge, or the pre-chorus I should say, there is a bridge before the solo that goes to E minor also, but this pre-chorus goes, we're going to play an E. You can play an E5, or you can play an E minor. I recommend taking this E minor shape, and a lot of times I'll play the chord, but then I'll change my fingers around and just play the root note and the minor, it's like a minor 7. Like this, I'm on the 7th fret on the A, 7th fret on the G, and the 8th fret on the B string. And I'll go. All right. Now this part here resolves to it. It's also a D and a D sus4. So this E minor it goes to a D, D sus4 second in that pre-chorus. So then go to a C, and I'll a lot of times do a C sus2. Back to this D, and then we go to the chorus. So one more time, that pre-chorus goes, he goes, you know you gotta stick to your guns when it all something caught between heaven and hell. So, one CC thing that he does a lot is he'll take the open D and he'll play this D sus4 chord. So if you take a D major chord, but this is the top part, but you just play these top 2 strings, the G and the B string, and the sus, but you add the open D. It's like Ride the Wind. All right, so I'm going. You could go like Unchained. All right, so E minor, D, D sus4, C add 2, sus2, D. Now during the chorus, you could play the intro riff, but with less gusto, like or just hold big chords. It gives you a chance to do the salute, you know, like CC would do. It's just G, C, to a D, D sus4, back to a G. And then it resolves on a G, and it goes one more time around. There's a full another verse, another pre-chorus, and a full chorus, okay? Now the bridge before the guitar solo, it kind of breaks down, kind of like halftime. It feels like it gets slower, but it kind of, you know. And he goes, when the ship came in, it was just a little late, something like that. All right, and then it goes into the guitar solo. So the bridge is just an E minor to a D to a C, C sus2, right to a D, all right? There's a little lick that he does right before the solo. There's, it goes, it's up here in the E minor, G major pentatonic position. He goes on this G string. He just bending the 14th up. When he goes, then the guitar solo kicks in for real. It's like CC's getting us ready. He's getting us primed for his guitar solo. All right. So the guitar solo is over E. The solo is over. Just like the bridge. It's an E minor, which is G major. So CC just switches to the relative minor chord progression during the guitar solo because G major and E minor are relative, so he can stay in the same position. But it sounds different because it's now has kind of a minor, sadder feel to it, okay? Common trick in pop music, classical music, Western music in general. All right, so when that guitar solo starts off, it starts off with a really nice, it starts off with like a really nice bend, or a scoop. He does like this scoopy thing with a whammy bar, okay? And I'm going to teach you this solo in 4 sections, segments, so you can learn 4 different phrases, and then once you get those all under your fingers, you'll be able to paste them all together and get it up to speed, okay? So a scoop is when you take your whammy bar and you scoop, and then you hit the note when your whammy bar is down, and you release it up to the note like this. That's a common metal trick. Guess who invented that? Eddie. All right. Now some people in the comments will say, Eddie didn't invent that. Well, prove me wrong. I'll be glad to admit I'm wrong, but I think Eddie started doing that first, honestly. So we're going to scoop on the 9th fret. We're going to go like this. We're going to go 9th fret on the G string. Then we're going to hit the 9th fret on the D string, and then 12th fret on the D string, and then the 4th fret on the D string. And then bend it up a half step, so it's going to sound like it's the 5th fret. It's sort of like a, it's kind of like a Hotel California lick. All right. All right, so that's kind of a weird analogy, but we're going to scoop up on each one of those 4 notes, like, and bend up half a step. So once again, we got, once we bend up that half step, we're going to go. So that last part of that first segment goes, we're on the 4th fret on the G string, and we're going to hammer on to the 7th fret and release. I'm playing this with my index finger and my ring finger because we got to bend this note up. You could bend it up or down. I always bend these types of notes down for some reason. If I was going to go, I'd bend it up, but I'm not going to do that lick. I'm going to go. I always have more control when I'm doing slow bends with vibrato if I bend it down. So anyway, after that scoopy lick, it goes, then release, then repeat. So it's really the same lick, it's just got some different inflections. That 7th fret that you bend up, the second time goes. All right, so from the very beginning of that first lick, we've got these 4 scoops. Cool. So once you got that, we're going to go over here to the second segment. We're going to go way up here on the 17th fret on the high E string, and we're going to bend it up 3 times. It goes. I would recommend up picking on this so you don't hit these other strings accidentally. I mean, you can down pick it, but you got to be accurate, which sometimes I'm not. So I try to up pick some of these high bends. That last one's got some vibrato. And that's a full step, which means it sounds like we're hitting it on the 19th fret. So you got to get that bend just right. Nothing makes you sound unprofessional like a bend that's flat or sharp. And you got to put that vibrato on there because it sounds like a vocal, you know, it sounds like it gives it musicality. So we're going to go. Now there's this fast lick. Well, it's kind of a fast lick. It's a smooth lick. It goes. It goes. So that lick there is. So I'm going to start here on the 12th fret. I'm going to slide into the 14th fret with my ring finger. So 12 to 14. Then hammer on 12 and 14 on the D string. Then slide up to the 16th fret on that D string. Then we're going to place 14, 16 on the G. Then 15, 17 on the B. And go 15, 17, 15. So then go. That's a 17 on the B. Full step bend up. And then with your pinky, hit the 17th fret on the high E. And then 15th fret on the B. Okay, so all together we've got. All right, then on to the third segment, we're going to be way up here on the 22nd fret. This is probably the hardest part of the lick because bending up here on the 22nd is real tough, but we're going to bend a full step up like this. All right, so I'm going to up pick again, and I'm going to hit the first one, and then those first 2 bends are like that, and then we're going to go 3 staccato licks or chops. 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one we're going to hold, bend up and put more vibrato. So it's 6 bends on this 22nd fret. Like that. That's the rhythm. It's tough to do. If you don't get it right, it's going to sound like you're killing the cat in the back room, and your mom or your wife or boyfriend or whatever is going to come in and think you're killing the cat. But there's one lick that's going to break a string live or practicing. It's this part right here. And then we're going to go like this. There's this signature CC thing that he does a lot. It goes. And up to speed it. So what I'm doing there, this is an easy lick, really. You're going to go 15, 19, 15. And we're going to just take our index finger and our pinky and hammer on and pull a, and then play the 17th fret with our middle finger. And we're going to down pick that and then down pick the 15th fret again. And then we're going to go 17, 15, and then 17 on the B string and back to 15 on the high E. So lots of pull-offs. You can pick that second note or pull off. Whatever works for you, whatever works the easiest, do it, all right? So that third segment from the very beginning is okay, then there's this finale lick that's really, to get this right, you got to pretty much just go for it. And I slowed this sucker down. This lick has always kind of eluded me, but just today, for this lesson, I slowed it way down and I picked out the notes by ear. And from what I can gather, the very last fast lick, played slowly, goes. So what I'm doing there is I'm on 19, 17, 15 on the high E and on the high B string. So essentially what CC's doing is playing around with the G major scale. I'm going to pull off, which means I pick it and then pull off those three notes, then pick, pull off. Gives it a legato feel. Legato means smooth. Makes you go really fast. You can play it slow. And then we're going to go like this, 17, 15, 14, and then 17, 15 on the B. Now I'm going to give you my version of this after I show you this way. My version is easier and it works, and that's what I recommend doing, just because if you're going to play this live, this is a weird lick, because the way that I think the way that what CC meant to do, I think is more like what I actually do live. Not saying what I do is better. I think what he tried to execute in the studio is kind of what I do live, because it makes more sense, and I'll explain that in a minute. To me, it makes more sense, but you know, who knows? Maybe this was totally thought out. But we've got 6 notes on this first lick and then 5 on the second one, which makes no sense. As guitar players, we always want to do 3 notes per string. So that's your first part. All right, and then there's the next part of that lick goes. So it's 14, 12 on the high E, then 15, 13, 12 on the B, then 14, 12, and then 12 on the B string, 14, 12, 11, 12, all on the G, which is our Tito, is leading tone. So all together we've got it's actually really nice. So that's the lick. Now what I do live is I'll go, which is, there is a wrong note in there, but I'm like, heck, Eddie Van Halen played like technically wrong notes in his linear stuff that he did, so why can't I do it? But what I do live is essentially, it's essentially in the same positions that CC does his lick, but I'll go 3 notes per string like that, and then I'll go, that's the wrong note there. That's a C sharp. That belongs nowhere in the key of G, but when you go past it quick enough, no one really knows. And then I'll go. So that last lick is, it's 15, 14, 12, 15, 13, 12. Then I'll go 15, 13, 12, 14, 12, 11, back to the 12th. So fast or slowly, I'll go. Quickly, if I can do it, I'll go. But CC on the record, which I can't really quite play it up to speed because 6 notes and 5 notes just doesn't jive with my feel. That's the CC version, all right? So I hope that makes sense, but that's my performance tips for you is this end lick, it sounds like he went for it and it sounded great and they were like, that's bang on killer. And it does sound great on the record. It's perfect for the song, but I like 3 notes per string. So it's a lot easier for me to execute cleanly. And after that solo, he goes back into that big thing. That same thing as the intro is right after the guitar solo. Such a fun part, such a fun song. It really doesn't require a lot of concentration to play the song. It sounds great. It goes over well with an audience. And you know, it's easy to play, and it's actually got some tricky stuff in it. And when you think about G major, E minor, and these positions and the things that he does in it, you can take this knowledge and apply it to any song that's in E minor or G major and make it your own. And it's all about becoming familiar with areas on the fretboard and familiarity in these keys. And then when you get familiar with this, then you can transpose it to other keys like A major or D major, things like that, because it's really, guitar is just geometrical shapes on the fretboard that move in different areas based on the key that you're in. So if you learn certain licks in one area, you can play them in another area in a different key. But your starting point and gateway to learning and understanding that more is by doing it like this. And learning songs such as this, even if Poison's not your thing or it's not your favorite song, the knowledge that's in this type of stuff that you can carry on forward in your own music or when you're learning other songs, I think is invaluable. Anyways, I hope you like this lesson. I hope you like this kind of content. I try to put out at least 2 lessons a week, plus gear reviews, concert reviews, odds and ends. You just never know what's going to happen on the channel. If I think it's fun and I like it, I will film it, and hopefully you all enjoy it as well. Please consider subscribing, comment below, and as always, have a great day. Peace out.